Okay, Scorpio. So for your reading, I'm feeling the vibe here is things don't need to be perfect. I had a reading that I did not too long ago, and it was talking about how life can sometimes seem like a mess, but it always works out to be the way that it needs to, right? Like it might look messy, which I'm really getting from the Tower here, but in the end, everything kind of falls into place, and it can be wonderfully perfect, even though it seems to be imperfect, okay? That's what I'm kind of getting here. And I especially feel like we're talking about relationships because we do have the marriage card right here, okay? But I also noticed, and I've never had this thought before, we have the Emperor card, and I'm looking at what he's wearing. And then the Queen of Swords came out. And I'm like, oh, you know, they're kind of wearing similar colors, like kind of like a couple here. But the Emperor is usually with the Empress, and the Queen of Swords would be with the King of Swords. But who says that they have to be? Okay, so I'm getting for some of you, with the expectation card, the person that we end up with might not look the way that we have expected. They might not be the way that we've expected. And that's perfectly okay. All right. And the Eight of Wands here, she's grabbing this wand, but she looks kind of unsure about it. She's like, oh, I don't know. I don't know about this wand. But this is what we're going to do. Okay, Scorpio, we're going to focus on our feelings here, right? So they're bringing me... Okay, I have the song Skater Boy stuck in my head by Avril Lavigne. So he was a skater boy and she was like a preppy girl. That's kind of the vibes I got here. Doesn't necessarily mean it fits here, but they both liked each other, right? And they weren't together because, you know, he wasn't good enough for her, as she says in the song. I'm not getting vibes like we're not being together because we're completely different, but that's what I'm getting here, is you might not run with the same crowds, or they might not look the way that you thought they would. Now, with the thoughts card and me saying that, the first thing that I thought when this card came out was, oh, I remember going to a medium and her telling me what the guy that I was going to end up with looks like, right? And I thought that was kind of cool that she would tell me that. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what? My guides would have her channel that message for me, because they would like to see if I would focus on that and only date guys with red hair and green eyes, you know what I mean? So would that be a complete waste of time? Absolutely, because then I might miss out on another good person. So this is what they're saying here, is the person that you end up with, you know, they might not look the way that you want them to. Or the way that you think that they will, I should say. Because if you like the person, you're obviously going to be attracted to them, but I just feel like there's something different about them, right? Maybe you thought you would never date somebody who has kids, and then you meet somebody and they have kids and they're like absolutely wonderful, right? That's kind of what I'm getting here. So we don't want to miss out on opportunities by having those things kind of cloud our judgment. When you go into a relationship, when you meet someone, you listen to your feelings and how you feel about this person. You know, they might not be your typical type, but do they feel good to you? Do they treat you well? How do you feel in the relationship? That's the most important thing, okay, Scorpio? And that's what I'm getting here. Do they make you feel like singing and dancing? That's all that matters, right? So another thing is, if you haven't met a person yet and you're like, where the heck is this person? There might be a reason why you haven't met them yet, right? I'm being drawn to the Tower again. So she's made it crumble, but look at her face. Like she looks quite pleased with herself. All right. to me, when I see that, I always think of my guides. Like, Jenna, yeah, everything fell apart, or it felt like it fell apart. It seemed like it fell apart, but it actually fell right into place. And that's what I'm getting here. So for those of you who haven't met your person yet, focus on you. Focus on balance. Focus on your dreams. I know it's easier said than done, because I've been focused on wanting to get married for my entire life. That's all I ever wanted to do, was be a wife and a mom. But I finally felt more free, if it makes sense, once I started to focus on myself, focus on my health, and creating balance, physically, mentally, emotionally. And that's what I'm getting here, okay? If there is a person in your life and they're not, you're like, I don't know, they're not my typical type. What I'm getting here is stay centered, stay balanced, and listen to your feelings. Listen to your feelings, not necessarily the thoughts that come up, because you're going to have a lot of insecurities come up and fears. It's the feelings that you need to listen to. Well, I've been dating somebody and they triggered me really hard in the beginning, and they don't know it. They don't know it. But he triggered me so hard, and that was part of my journey. But did I feel like I still wanted to pursue this and see how things went? Absolutely. And things have been going very well for me so far. So that's what I'm getting here. Listen to that, you know? Your feelings are more important than your thoughts, because your thoughts can screw you up. You know, that's when you get the anxiety, the fears. So focus on your feelings, okay? And it doesn't have to be a relationship. It can be you trying to choose a job, you trying to choose anything. Okay, Scorpio? Focus on that feeling, all right? If you're getting it, sometimes when you're going for a job, you can get anxiety. But when you think about yourself in that job, do you feel good? Or do you feel miserable? That's something to think about, right? Try to picture yourself doing that job, or whatever this is. And if you feel anxious or miserable, that's telling you right there, that's not the one for me. Okay? All right, Scorpio, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if it resonated, and hopefully I see you in the next one.